Alright, in this video we will discuss a bit complex models in CodeFirst using entity framework. So currently we have a situation in which we have a product model, and in product we have ID, name, price, quantity and brand. So like this. So we have a brand as a string over here. But what about brand has some more features, such as it has an address, it has a country, it has a phone number, it has a city, and it has some extra features. So that would be a bit redundant. Let's say for example we have a Dell, and then we have some data about Dell. So data would be redundant. So for this we need to normalize this situation, and then we need to have a separate entity that is for the brands, and then we need to have a foreign key, let's say brand ID or BID or something like this, and we will be having IDs from that brand table. Let's say for example in case of Dell, we will be having on these IDs. So how do we create this complex models using CodeFirst with the help of entity framework? So first of all we need to have an extra entity which is another model for brand. So in this case again we will have its own key, which is a primary key in the database, let's say for example ID, and then we will have, let's say for example, string name, and we can have, let's say for example, string country, and before that we can have string address. Alright, we can have some data annotations, let's say for example display name is, let's say for example brand name, and we can have an address, we can keep it like this, we can have a country, something like this, right? So we need to do the scaffolding for this brand and do the migration so that we can have a brand entity in our database like this. We need to have this entity in our database, and we need to have its views so that we can add brand, we can remove brand, we can have something like this, right? So we will just build this and then add scaffolding item. So build started and succeeded, add the scaffolding item. This time we will be using our model which is brand. So brands controller will be added. So you can see that all the brand CRUD operations, all the views has been generated, and also this controller has been generated to handle all the requests and all the DB operations. So I am trying to run this, and definitely it will have an issue because we need to do migrations. So we did not do migrations, so let's do the migrations. So add migration, and the name is brand entity added, and update database. So you can see that in the migrations it is saying that it's something is going up, and nothing is going down for now. It's adding this field and also adding this ID over there. So it's done. So let's run this. Slash brands, oops, with uppercase B. So now we will be able to add brand name, address in the country. Let's say for example we add and we say that, I don't know, where is it from? Let's say Texas, USA. Create and add another one. Let's say Panasonic. Some address. Country is Japan, and that's all how we manage brands over here. And we have a products. So in products we have a brand name which has no connection with actually brands entity. These entities are separate right now. There is no relationship between them, right? To do this, we have quite easy way in CodeFirst using entity framework, which is that I'm going to create a foreign key, and I don't need to specify any data annotation. So I will use brand ID over here, and I will put a reference with the brand model, which is a brand. Let's call it maybe brand obj. That's it. So this brand ID is actually the brand which will be used as a foreign key. So entity framework will automatically assess that this brand ID would be inside this brand object, this brand model, and it will assume that this ID would be the primary key, and it will create a foreign key relationship, right? So this thing will be done automatically using entity framework. So if I use any other name as a foreign key, then I need to specify this is a foreign key, and I also need to give a reference. So if I use the naming conventions same as another field, and same as I will need to specify an object reference. Sometimes some developers put this as a virtual object, and I guess you don't need to do that. This will create a relationship between this product model and this brand model, right? So this is something that we want to achieve, that we want to get this ID over here, and this all will be managed. And you will also see some more amazing things, that you don't need to specify the IDs when we are entering a record inside this product. When we are doing insertion, let's say, we will be having brands in a drop down menu that would be retrieved automatically from the brands table. So let's build this. So now the question is that, do we need to do the scaffolding? Yes, we need to do the scaffolding. We need to rescaffold because we have modified this product, and definitely the views would be modified accordingly, right? So we need to rescaffold products controller, and also we need to migrate our database. So rescaffold. So product, and I'm actually overwriting. And also I need to add migration, and I need to say that product and brand relationship has been established, and I need to update database. So we have an error over here for any constraint binary conflict occurs in the database because we have an ID over here. So let's go and see what is the conflict. So we have a brand, we have a quantity over here. So this brand should be removed over from here. So it has a conflict with this. So the easiest way is we just remove all the migrations. We remove the database. That is the easiest thing. Or I can go and drop this field. I can go and open table definition. So I will actually delete this brand. I will update this database. So it's done. All right. So no, I need to do the migrations. So let's do the migrations, and you need to update database. So again we have a conflict with the database. So I will do one more attempt to add migrations. Brand and product relationship. We have a pending migration, so the easiest thing is I just go and delete the migrations. Alright, so I will also delete this. Alright, and I just build this and I run this, and I go and see the products. So we have a brand name, we have a product name, price, and so on. And similarly, if I go and see the brands, so we have brands. So let's add some brands. Let's for example Dell, and some address, and oops, USA. Oops, add it USA, and add Panasonic, some address, Japan, and I will go to the products. I will create new product. So you see we have a drop down over here, although it's saying the brand ID, it should not say brand ID over here. So product name is laptop, price is something, quantity is something, and the brand is, so we are getting these brands from the brands table, right? So create this and add another thing. Let's say for example we have blender, the price is this, quantity is 200, and Panasonic, create. Similarly, if we are going to edit this, we are getting this in a drop down. So let's say for example display from the brand, this is actually the brand. Let's say for example that's the brand. We have to do something, we don't need to do something with the database because it has to do with the view only. So I will add products, So edit this. So we have a, again we have a brand ID. So I need to go and see the view. So create new, we have a brand ID. That's how we do. So we can just leave it as it is. We can change this menu so that we can easily manage our brands. So go and share layout, and I'm going to modify this, and we don't need home, about and contact for now. Let's say for example I'm going to comment this, sorry, comment these lines, and I will add action links to the manage products. So the index of products. Similarly, I will manage brands index and manage brands. So we have managed products, and we have managed brands. In this view we are going to manage brands, and we can manage products. We can go and see the database over here, and let's refresh this, and we have tables, and we have brands, and we have a products. So if we go and see the table definition for the products, we can see a foreign key relationship over here, which is automatically added using an entity framework. And if we see the data of these products, so we have brand ID over here, which is automatically managed. So that's how we can create a bit complex models in which we can create relationship. There are some more things that you can do with this code first complex models. We might discuss this later on, adding some more things. Actually we can do some more things. Let's say for example we can have orders, and in orders we have product, we have through product we see brand, and in order we have a product, we have a quantity, we have a price, like total price of that order. We can also have customers, that which customer has placed this order. We can also have reviews on these products, and we can make a relationship that this review is made by a specific customer, which means we can have a many-to-many relationship in which we have one product that can be rated or reviewed by many customers. So we can have a center table in which we can have a product reviews, we can have many products, and we can have many customers, and for each product and for each customer we have reviews for those products by those customers. Similarly, for orders we can have a many-to-many relationship in which one product can be ordered by many customers, and even a single product can be ordered by a customer many times. So we can have more complex models, and we will discuss that later on if we'll get time. But before going towards that, I would prefer to discuss database first development approach,